automatically, so you should be fine. Okay.
Okay, sir.
All right, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Any other questions? Any other issues before?
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
Jide will be joining us, so he will walk us through the installation for AWS and Spark and all the stuff like that as well. Okay. Any other questions? Any issues before I proceed? Okay. Yes, Mr. Taiwo.
Good afternoon,
Mr.
sir.
Jiambola, yeah, sorry, hold on, sir. Mr. Jiambola, if you look at, go to the folder below, you see your taskbar below, down, yeah. Now see the yellow folder beside LinkedIn, LinkedIn.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yeah,
yes,
that one,
yes.
open that one.
Okay.
Click on downloads on the left, Okay, you have it there. Yeah, click on.
Yes.
Okay, click on that. It didn't download. Where is that? It did not download. Go to the other download, the one on the left. The one down. Yeah, click on that one. It's not coming up. Nothing is coming up. Why?
It's not coming up.
Minimize this folder. Let's look at as the download complete. Did it complete? Okay. Go back.
So.
No, just go back, toggle back, go back to the head of the this browser. Yeah, no, yeah, that one. Go back and click on the second one. Okay, click on download here. Okay, now your laptop, it will be a 64 gig, 64 gig RAM, right? If it's 64 gig RAM processor, rather.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so select 64 gig.
Yes, sir.
Select 64 gig, check the box beside it. Yeah, check that box and then download. Okay, now if you go to that folder again, we should find, yeah, it's downloading right now. You can see it at the top. It's still downloading.
Okay.
It's not, yeah. So once it finishes, yeah, it's still downloading. Yeah, once it's finished, you will see it will come out with the full name. And then what you do, you just do your installation. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, sir.
Right, sir.
Yes. Mr. Ayola. Mr. Ayola, you raised your hand.
Good afternoon, sir.
Oh, it's a miss. Oh, sorry.
Hello, sir.
Okay. Hello.
Yeah, it's Mr. Yeah. So I downloaded the SQL server and the SSMS to do whatever again, but I'm not sure because I'm trying to look for it and I can't find it. I'm not sure.
Can you share your screen quickly? Can you share your screen quickly?
Sorry. Let's see. This is it. Yeah, so I got to this point.
Okay, you've downloaded, yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
No. Take out, we don't connect yet. Take out that mandatory inscription. Take out the mandatory, make it optional. You see that is second to the last. Yeah,
I've taken that out.
Put that optional, yes. And then click on, I guess that is your installation. Yeah, click on connect.
Okay.
Okay, that's your server.
I've done that.
Yeah. So now, okay, if you click on databases, the plus button beside databases, the plus button on the left, yeah, click on that. Yes, so you have, yes, yeah, that's all. You don't have any These are all system databases, so your installation is right. It's complete. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You're
And my
welcome.
Power BI, I
Yeah.
downloaded Power BI, but I can't find it. So maybe
Okay.
I'll have to do it
Click on.
again.
No. Go to your download folder. Let's look at it. It will be there. Except if you have gone into the Microsoft Store, then that, like Mr. Gianbola has an issue. So share your. Let me see your folder.
My downloads
Your
folder.
Explorer. Yeah.
Yeah. This is a
Folder
BI
Explorer.
desktop. Power
I
BI
can't see it.
desktop.
I can't see. I can't see your screen. It's still showing me your SSMS.
Can you see it now?
No, it's your SSMS. So minimize your SSMS.
Oh, okay.
You see towards the end. Yeah, yeah, okay. Oh, you've closed it.
I'm going to share again.
But you found, but did you see the download in the folder now?
Yeah, yeah. So it's there. Can you
Okay.
see it?
No, it's still.
PBI desktop setup 64.
Yeah, that's it. So what you do is right click
Oh, okay.
as you, and then click on, and then select your language at the top there. English. You'll find English US or English. Just use that one, that English.
Yeah.
Okay. Click on that English. Yeah. Click on next, and that would be it.
All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right. Mr. John.
Yeah,
Sorry,
good
ma, if you
afternoon,
stop
sir.
sharing, ma. Yeah. Good afternoon.
All right, sir.
Yes, sir. I've been able to download the SQL and the SSMS,
Okay.
but I'm looking at if the available space I'm having on this system will be able to contain the Power BI, but I don't know the.
What is the available space? What is the available? How many gig of space do you have left on your laptop?
The system is it's 8 gig
No, no,
RAM.
no. That is the RAM. That is not
Okay.
the space. That is the
Okay.
RAM. That is for your graphics. The RAM, 8 gig RAM is your graphics, not your
Okay.
storage. Okay.
Okay.
So if you want to know this, what is left or the space you have left, if you do right click
Okay.
and go to your My Computer or whatever it is it's called on your one, and then go to your C drive, and then you can highlight your C drive, then you can see what space you have left. Okay.
Is
So
this the HP Pavilion?
the Pavilion is nothing to do with it.
You said sorry.
Pavilion is the
Go i5. Go i5.
No.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. Let me do something. Let me share my screen.
Yeah, put this on now.
Okay, can you see my screen?
No.
You should. Okay, no, I've not selected yet. Sorry, my bad. Okay, you should see my screen now.
Yes, I can see it.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
now, for you to see what is happening, is either you come here,
Okay, I'm there.
and
Okay.
then you can go either of here, or better still, just come here, right click on that yellow folder. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. I couldn't locate you.
The yellow folder, you always have the yellow folder at the bottom of your screen. You can see where I have all these icons for all the applications I have. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I can see your mouse. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, right click on that, and then you click on File Explorer.
All right.
Okay. When you click on
Okay.
File Explorer, it should open a window like this, right? And then you now go in and look at this PC, right?
Yes.
And then here you can see, for me, it says I have 331 gig free. So that is the available space I have on my laptop.
Okay. It's showing here. I have 400 and
So you have
sorry.
space. So you have space. Okay, you have space, and then you.
I have 407
So
free
that is
of okay.
Power
I
BI
have
will not take. Power BI will not take even 0.1% of that. It's
okay.
very small file. Very small
Okay.
file.
Thank you so much. Yes, sir.
All right then. Okay. Yes. Who else? Some people. Let me go back to my screen. Okay. Yes, I have Iyanu, Mr. Iyanu or Mrs. I don't know if it's he or she.
Mr. Iyanu,
Yes. What's the problem, sir? You're muted.
Yes, that was frozen for a bit. I don't know what's going on. Hello, good
Okay.
afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
The reason why I raised my hand up was last week we were told that they were going to send us the recording for the previous classes.
Did they not do that?
No,
No. Because it took some time for the website. Sorry. The WhatsApp group to be created, but then I've directed you to where you can find that, which is where we're not going to be sharing the video. The video will be posted to the YouTube channel, and you go watch it on the YouTube channel.
because I think maybe when I was added, I missed the information. What I got from the WhatsApp group was all the links to download.
Yeah, that is what we are going to share. There is for the links to download the applications which you are going to be using for this class. Okay, but the videos, like I said, I think I've mentioned that about twice now, is that we are not going to be sharing the video individually because of the size. Okay.
Not going to be sharing the video individually because of
Can
the
you please?
size.
That's
Okay.
it's bouncing back.
Can you please? It's
okay. So we're not going to be sharing the video, but we have created a YouTube channel where the videos are posted, are published to, and then you can subscribe to that channel. So anytime the video is a new video is published there, you will get a notification. Subscribe and click on the bell icon to notify you when there's a new update. Okay. Because sometimes the video recording the size is big and WhatsApp will not has a what's it called, size limit.
Okay, can you post the name of the YouTube page so that we can just add it right now?
I will post it again today. All right.
You can.
All right.
Is it possible to put it right now on this?
Okay. I will have to go and search it. I don't know at the top of my head. Yeah. Okay. While I'm talking to you, I'll go look for it. Okay. So the next person, please, Mr. Peter.
Mr.
You're so helpful.
Hello, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I already have an instance. Though I didn't get the invite for some reasons. I wouldn't know to join the WhatsApp group. But however, I already have an instance of SQL running on my system. Can I proceed with that, sir?
Yeah. If you already have it, you don't need a new one.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Okay. You don't need a new one. Yes. Mr. Benjamin.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, it's just about the WhatsApp group. I didn't get the invite to join the WhatsApp group as well.
You didn't get the invite. Yeah,
Yeah.
I just mentioned that earlier, just for anyone who's not got the invite, email your name,
Yeah.
your name, your email address, your phone number, and the course of study to the school admin.
Okay. All right.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Olushola.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome, sir.
What I wanted to ask is what someone just asked now. Because sometimes like November last year, I've downloaded the SQL, the latest version, that is 2022, and the Power BI. So I want to
that's
add
okay. That's okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I'm just trying to get the YouTube name. What is this? No. Sorry. SOM.
Sorry, I can get the link I post here. Can I do it?
So, you have the link. Please share it, please. Thank you. Says me. Thank you.
All right.
Okay. All right. So, any more questions, Mr. Lushala? If you have answered the question, can you put down your hand? Any other questions?
Yes,
sir.
please. The WhatsApp group, I was not added to, and I've sent my name. I've sent it to the admin. Name, phone number, course of study.
Yeah, they will do it. I don't have control over that, but they will do it. Once you send it to that email address, they will do it. Okay.
All right, I will send it again.
You don't
Okay,
have to
no
send it
problem.
again. They will do it. They will do it.
All right, it's okay.
Okay, you don't have to. Except if your email bounced back. If your email did not bounce back, don't worry.
No, it didn't bounce back.
No, they will do it. Okay. All right. Jide will be joining us shortly.
Hello, sir. You may answer my question, sir.
What was the question?
Yeah. Concerning the downloads, I've actually downloaded the SQL server management and the Power BI too, but I'm not sure I've completed the whole thing. So I've been trying to follow you when you are guiding others now, but I couldn't.
No, you just not download. You download and you will install.
Yeah, I downloaded. I tried to install, but
yeah, but did you download? Did you
share my
download?
screen with me?
Yeah, wait, but did you download the engine itself, the SQL Server database engine?
Yes.
If you download, if you download the SSMS and install the SSMS, there's nothing for SSMS to connect to.
I downloaded the SQL, the engine first before I downloaded the SSMS.
And then did you install the engine?
Yeah.
Okay, share your screen.
I installed both.
Share your screen.
Okay, let me. Sorry.
Yeah, I've shared the link on the comment section.
Thank you very much, sir.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. I want to talk about the recordings. I've been going on YouTube on this channel to find the 2 previous recordings that for the past 2 weeks, and I realized that
I will get him when he comes in here.
Yeah, they have not been posted.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he comes in here, I will get him to do it just before we finish the class. They should be ready because he has to go
and I also want to ask that.
Yes.
Yeah, that we have the recording before the next class so that we can.
Yeah, he's going to. I said I want to get him to do it while the class is going on. That's what I just said.
Okay.
Okay.
No, I mean for every class so that we rehearse.
Yeah, that is what I said. To share the recording, you cannot share the one for today until after the class because the recording will not complete until after the class. So, but the previous ones, I want to get him to do that before the end of this class. Okay. Yes. Mr.
Can I share my screen?
Yeah,
can you see
share
it
your
now?
screen. I can't see nothing. No, I can't see it.
Now you can't see it. Can you see it, sir?
I said no. I can't see your screen yet. Let me stop sharing. Okay, that is why. Okay, you share your screen now.
Okay. Can you see it?
No.
What's happening?
You have to, when you select the screen, you have to click on the share. When you select the screen you want to share, you will see a blue square or whatever around it, and then click on, and then there's a button below which you will see says share. That button will be blue.
Yeah, that's what I.
We can't see your screen.
Let's see that.
No, can see. Okay, while I'm waiting for that, Mrs. Anue, you raised your hand.
Yeah, I'm trying to install the SQL Server. I'm not sure. Is it the one on Azure Edge or
No,
on-premises?
no, on-prem.
Which one?
On-prem. The on-premises.
On-premises. Okay, that's what I want to find out. Thank you very much, then.
Okay. So, Mr. Olushola, have you been able to?
Yeah. What about now? Is it okay now?
Can't see us. No, I can only see your face.
Oh my God.
I can only see your face.
Okay, are there supposed to be some kind of registration before downloading?
No. Nothing to register for.
It's bringing out list where I can register. First name, last name, email, company name, and all that.
For what? For that is on Power BI.
No, SQL. SQL Server 2022 trial.
No, you're not clicking on the trial one. That's because you're asking for the trial one. The trial one you can download and install, but that will only give you for 180 days. After 180 days, it turns off. So that is why I said you download and install the developer edition.
Developer edition.
When you get to the site, okay, you know what I'll do? Let me share my screen and let me bring this window up. Let me bring this window up and then I'll go back in here and say Google. I guess you can see my screen.
Yes, I see it now.
Okay, you can see my screen. Okay, moving these things about. Okay, and then I say SQL Server. Let's do this one. Okay, I click on that. Okay. Now you can see you have the Azure, you have the Edge, and then you have the.
We can only see you. We can't see the screen, sir.
My screen is showing. It should be showing.
No, only see you, sir.
Just yourself.
It's not showing.
Something is wrong.
I can see your screen.
I think somebody is still sharing. One of the people that shared
I can
earlier.
see your screen, sir.
You can see my screen. Can you see my screen now?
It's showing try SQL Server on premises or in the cloud. The three.
Yes.
I can see that.
So it shouldn't be showing me.
We can't see.
But seeing you, sir.
Some people are seeing me.
I think somebody who was sharing.
Somebody who was
Benjamin?
sharing, yes.
Benjamin is the one that
and then Mr. Olushola, can you stop sharing? Mr. Olushola, can you stop sharing? Everybody that has shared before, stop sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
So what can you?
Yeah, it's okay now.
What can you see now?
SQL Server.
Yeah, we're seeing try SQL Server on premises.
Okay. All right.
Or in the cloud.
Good. Yeah. Okay, you can see here now. You have that. Instead of you click on that, you come here and click on this developer edition. You see this one?
Yeah.
Not this one here. Yeah. You can see or download a free specialized edition and you select this one.
Yes. Okay, developer.
Developer edition.
Okay.
If you click on this, it's going to request you put in your details.
Yes, yeah.
Because what you are getting here is you will be given the free trial, because you can see here it says it's a free trial. Okay, it's a free trial and you're only going to get 180 days free. Okay. After 180 days, it switches off. But any one of these, you don't need it's for life. Okay.
All right.
And this Express is a lightweight of the SQL Server, and it suffices for what we want to do in class. It suffices for what we want to do in class. But if you want to do some other additional things, it will not be in there. Okay. So, but the developer edition, like I said, is free and it's for life as well. But there's a caveat to it, and the caveat is that you cannot use it for commercial purpose. For your training, it's fine, no problems with that. But once you begin to use it for commercial purpose, then you are contravening the license and you can be prosecuted for that. Okay. All right.
So
Can I
how
go
did
ahead and share?
so how did you get to this page?
I sent you the link on the WhatsApp group.
Well, most of us are not there. We are yet to be added.
Were you in class last week?
Yes, sir. I was.
You were in class last week, and they took your what's it called? Engineering took the attendance, and you already have your registration, as you already have you're registered as well.
Yes, I
Because
have.
if you did not register before, and it took the what's it called, the attendance, it doesn't have any information about you. Though you are in class last week, but you don't have any information, registration information, so there's no way it can invite you. Okay. Anyway, what I'll do, I'll just copy this now. You can copy from the chat. I'll put it in the chat now.
Thank you
So
very
if you
much.
click on that, then you should be able to.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'm seeing basic custom download media.
Can you see what?
Installation type, basic custom download media.
Yeah, just do the basic. If you have watched the video, you won't be asking me the question because the video will have explained everything to you.
Where did you put the video, sir? I said I'm not in the WhatsApp group, sir.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, sir.
I wanted to avoid this. That is why I posted that earlier, but it seems that that is negated now. Okay. Okay, I will go.
Sir.
Let me see. Let me find the video.
Sir,
I will share the link.
I have shared the link, all the links you shared on the WhatsApp group. I put them on the chat now for them to see.
Okay, thank you very much.
For all the downloads, as well as the YouTube video. If you watch the YouTube video, you understand how to do the installation. You just follow it step by step, and you will not have any problem with that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you. Okay, so Mr. Lucia, that should answer your question. All right. Okay, I still have Mr. Olushola and Mr. Yanu still hands up. If
I want to know whether I can still share my link.
Whether you can do what?
Listen, can I still share my video?
Your video?
My screen, rather. My
what
screen.
Do you want? Okay, share your screen. Let's see. Let me stop sharing.
I got stuck somewhere. That's where I'm trying to.
Okay, share your screen. Share your screen quickly, please. Be quick about that, please.
Yeah. Can you see, sir?
No, I can only see myself. I can only see myself. Yeah, and now you're bringing that in. Yes, I can see your screen. Yes, so what is wrong there? If you have watched the video, you said, yes, click on connect.
Connect.
Then click on database engine, the window that opened. No, you see the window that opened.
Yeah,
database engine. Click on that.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
you don't have There's no, okay, click on where it says server name. You see that pop up? Where it says server name?
Server name, okay.
Yeah, okay. Click on that arrow down there.
This one, yeah.
Yeah, click on browse.
Brother, browse for more. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, expand the plus sign there.
The plus sign.
Yes.
This one.
Yes. And then click on the Ifeshola 23. That's your server name.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
click OK.
Okay.
Okay, and then take away the mandatory.
Mandatory,
put it to optional. Yeah. Okay, and then click on OK.
Oh shit.
I mean
Okay.
connect.
Connect.
Ah.
Okay. And that is your okay.
Yeah. So that's all now.
Okay. That's it.
Yeah. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much, sir.
Okay. You're welcome.
Yeah. Stop sharing.
Stop sharing, please.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've done that.
Does anybody?
Yes, sir. Just to confirm, thank you for sharing the link for the YouTube page. But the videos that is on the YouTube page
Somebody has reiterated that and said I will get the my colleague to upload that before the close of class today. He should be joining us anytime soon, and I will just ask him to do that while we're still here.
I think
he will download the previous one.
I think somebody has shared it on the chat. You know, if you're on the
No,
chat,
no.
the YouTube.
The video for the class.
Previous one.
All right.
Somebody has
Okay.
shared it on the chat. No.
I will send the video across after the class immediately.
Okay. So Jide, you can hear him. So we will upload to the YouTube channel after the class is said now. Okay. And that of today. So you will have 3 videos uploaded by the end of the day. Okay. All right. Before I go on for anything, Jide.
Should be 4 videos, sir. Should be 4
Oh my God. Oh. God.
3 are the most important. The fourth one is not within. This is our 4th class, but the 4th class, that first day wasn't recorded, or even if it was recorded, that was a general class. Okay. So we don't have access to that, and it's not, even if we do, we're not sharing that. All right. Jide.
Yes, sir.
Yes. Can you step in now and share what the installation you want to go through with them?
Okay, sir.
Okay. So I'll yield to Jide for now. When it's done, then I'll come back.
Thank you.
Yeah. Afternoon, everyone. Yes. So I will be, like I said in the first class, I mentioned that I'll be covering Python. I'll be covering Spark and a touch of AWS environments. So for us to start dealing with transformation and stuff, we need to do few installations. One of them is Google Colab. The Google Colab is more of an educational platform where you can run a Python script, write Python, do transformation of data, and you can also work with Spark at the same time for transformation of data, for like processing of data. Python you can use pandas libraries and some others. Even you can do machine learning. So what I would do is that I will just take you the steps in getting the environment configured. I'm going to share my screen in a minute. 1 second. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. So this is Google Colab environment. Before I open that, let me show you. I'll just search Google Colab online. If you search through Google, you'll see Google Colab here. Can you see is a research tool where you can run any code, Python script.
Jide, can you
Spark.
just copy the link and share it with them so it's easy for them?
Okay. Yeah. So I'll be sharing the link with you now. So you can follow that link and get everything set up. So I forwarded the link. Now, if you see, immediately I click on Google Colab, you can see this environment coming up. Well, in this case, I have, my accounts are connected to Google Colab. Look, this is not actually my account, but another account. So I can, like, for example, for Google Colab to work, for you to use this environment, I will advise you to use your Gmail account. So it works with a Gmail account. So try, if it says sign in, use your Gmail account to sign in. And now let me close this. So this is the environment. As you can see, we got welcome to Google Colab. You can also use, maybe it's got like an AI tool that will suggest maybe code to you and the rest. So for you to start, just go to, like I said, sign in with your Gmail account. So for you to start, go to File, and you can open a new notebook. Open a new notebook, then it will bring you to this environment. And here in this environment, you can run your Python, your code. Can you see it says start coding or generate with AI? You can even use AI, but I don't advise at this point for you to start using AI. Please, you have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to write code, and if you need assistance of AI, then you could go for that. So, for example, let's say I want to print. I can print. Yeah. So if I run this, I can, I can do things around there. So for Python, so I think it's going. Can you see? So you can see it's printing. So you can use this environment to run your Python script and do the rest. But in the case, because of what we're going to be covering in this class, we'll be working with so we'll be using we'll be working more with Python, like I said, and we'll be doing Spark. So I'll be taking you through a few other things. I think I also need to introduce you to, to Spark environment, as in the Spark itself. Then that will help you to understand other the configuration. Just give me 1 second. So I'm going to go to Spark. Spark is similar to when you use like Python, but Spark is more for large processing of data. So use it for large processing of data, just like you use Python with pandas. So this is also Python with Spark, and what we're covering is going to be Python with Spark, and we've got other package related to Spark. Some of them we have Java with Spark, we have R with Spark, and the rest. But in our own case, we'll be using Python with Spark. And for you to access Spark, the Spark package, you can go here, check the latest updates here. From here, the last update was 3.5, released on February 27, 2025. So I will advise you go for 3.5.5. Then we've got this, it runs on Hadoop, as you can see, pre-built for Apache, Hadoop 3.3 and later. So you can go for that and get this information. So you need this, then you have this. If you see the line 3 here, you see Spark.3.55 bin -Hadoop TGZ. So here you need this for the configuration in Google Colab. So I will give you an example here. I've got an example here that I've opened already. I used this in previous seasons. So for you to do, don't worry about this. I will run this one after the other, and I will send you like a PDF file that you follow to get your own configured. So don't worry. So the first thing you need to do when it comes to the configuration is that after you've gotten your environment ready, the Google Colab environment, you've signed it with your Gmail, then you run this particular code, apt get install open JDK 8 this. When you run this, then you will now run wget this https. Remember the zip file I showed you here. This is the zip file. If I click this, you will see here, you will see like the HTTPS link 3.55 Spark 3.55. So if you see this, you see it's similar to what I'm showing, what I have here 3.55. Let me do it. Oops, sorry. 1 second. Let me show you. You will see similar to this part. Free Spark dash 3.55. This one is 3.53. The Spark 3.55 this. So in this case, because we have an updated version of Spark here, so I will advise you to change this one to what? Updated version, which is 3.55. So I'll change this one to 3.55. So, and now let's run this. That is running. So when that one is done, then we run the next one. And what this one is doing is that it's going to that URL link that you have here, and it's trying to zip that file from, download the file from that website. That's why you have wget this. And after doing that, let me run this now. Let's see what is going to happen. Now that one is done. Then you go to the next one. So this 3.55, yeah. So you go to the next one, and what this one is doing is that it's going to zip this file that you've downloaded. Can you see the TGZ? So you're going to use this tar TRXF. You download. You now zip. You unzip the file. Unzip it. Okay. So it's saying now. Do you know why we are unable to unzip? Can someone tell me?
So I've not updated the version.
Thank you,
Yeah,
because
the
I've not
version.
updated the version. So I've updated it to 3.55 now. Let's see what is going to happen. Can you see? So we're able to unzip the file. Now, so we've been able to unzip the file. If we go to the next stage, you see pip install find spark. And the reason why we have this pip install find spark is to help us to locate the spark itself so that we can run it. So if I do that, pip install find spark. So this pip install find spark module will help us to use initialize things this folder path here, and we need it. So if I go to the next one now, some of you are familiar with os.environ. So environment variable. In this case, we are capturing this one as Java home. Remember what we downloaded is Java. So we install OpenJDK here. So that is in the Java part. And we have the Spark part, which is the file that we downloaded here from the TGZ. After unzipping this, the TGZ is gone because we have already unzipped it and we have this. So if we run this, that one is gone through. And if I do import find Spark, and you see it's gone through, it's marked, then I can now do, oh, so this one is not done because we need to change it to 3.55 and this. So let's run it again. Good. Then let's go to the next one, 3.55. and that one is done. Then let's run find spark.find. Let's see if you can you see? We are able to find that part where our the Spark module is sitting. So if we open here, we can find it here. If we click on this, can you see? Spark 3.5, this is the module. This is the zipped one, and we unzipped it using what? tar. So it was downloaded here, and the tar, we used that tar to what? Unzip it as this. And we are capturing that folder path here. So if we do copy path now, let's see the copy path. Let's see what we have there. So for the copy path, let's see. Can you see? You know, when I click on that, I copy that path and it's showing us content that's sparse. So the finds.initialize is capturing that particular folder path, which is okay. So now, find Spark, you've got that. Then in order for you to load any file, because, you know, the idea of what we are doing in data engineering is for us to, you know, have a source data, and we want to read that data and also transform the data. So the transformation parts, you know, we're going to cover it. So, but let's start with, because we're doing this configuration, let's say, okay, we want to load this data from our local environment, like our computer. We can do from Google Colab, from google.colab import files. Then we can load that data. But it's not really necessary. If you find another way to do that, you could maybe go around there and click on upload, and you can upload your file directly. You can do upload here, and it will take you to my own environment here. Now, so instead of using this, just comment it out. But if you need it, you can go for it. And now, after that, we have from PySpark. From PySpark, if you see from here, we're going to, now what we're doing here is from PySpark.sql import Spark section. So here, it means we are importing from PySpark.sql. We want to get this particular function called Spark section. I will show you here. What we're trying to do here is from PySpark.sql, look at this Spark module. Let's go down. From PySpark, let's see under PySpark. From PySpark.sql, and we are importing Spark section. We are importing Spark section. Spark section is under here. Do we have any questions?
Yes, sir. We have questions, but hopefully, when you are done, we'll be. I don't know how we can be able to get the setup like step by step, like the way you have shown us, so that we can go back and follow up and do likewise.
No problem. I'm going to send that one across to you after the class. So I have
Okay,
a
sir.
PDF copy of that, but you have to like modify the version, like I said.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you look at this very well, you have from PySpark.sql import Spark section, and if you want to access that Spark section, you can see that here. But you don't need to bother yourself about this, you know. So we have an embedded code running this particular Spark section, and if you see here, you can see the details there. Spark section, can you see the Spark section? So, but you don't need to bother. I'm just trying to show you why we need to download the module, the file, then how we are accessing it. So we're doing from PySpark.sql. This is the subfolder import Spark section, and we can now do, for us to now run our Spark, we do Spark. You can use any name. If I like, I can do Spark underscore SOM as a variable name. Can you see? Is a variable name. Then the Spark section we are importing dot builder dot app name, call it any name. The section, the season is season 19. Then we have get or create. So I can run this, and from there I can start reading my, you know, reading my data. So in this case, I created like a list. We're going to be covering that, but this is not the time to cover it. So I've created a list. I did this. I will show you all this while we cover another while we start fully. So I've shown you all the steps in for you to configure Spark. Then there's another thing you need to do, and that is AWS environments. If you see, organizations are now migrating from on-premises to cloud environments. And then, the SOM School of Mentoring has given us the opportunity to know more about cloud environment, how it works, and what you can actually do with, doing the cloud environment. For example, we'll be dealing with AWS environment. So I will advise you to have your AWS accounts. For you to get AWS, just do, let me show you. Let's go online. We have aws.amazon.com. Just go to this link, aws.amazon.com, then register there. 1 second, I'm going to send you that link now. aws.amazon.com, and you can register your account. It will ask you to, for example, let me just click on this. It will ask you to include your own maybe debit card. Please feel free to add that. But while you are using the account, maybe in the process of doing some data engineering work, please, as much as possible, whatever application you create, you have to try to remove them. Otherwise, you'll be charged. And I don't want you to be charged, charged at all. So yeah, that's that. Give me 1 second. I would also like to. Do we have question at all?
Yeah, sorry. So is regarding. Sorry, can I ask this? Is regarding what you just said now. How can we remove it if we don't want to be charged? For example,
you can't remove the card. The only
no,
thing
no,
is that
I mean the work we have done. How can we? Is it when we save it on our folder or desktop, or I don't know? How can we get?
You know what? Don't let us go for that. When I'm covering the class, I will show
Okay.
you how
Okay,
to
sir.
do that. We've
Okay,
not
sir.
started. I'm just trying to introduce you to
All right,
what you have
sir.
to do, because if you set it up now, they won't charge you for anything.
Okay.
You won't be charged at all. But while you are using it for like some of the things we'll be covering, you might want to, try it from your hand. I will guide you on what to do when we get
Okay,
to
sir.
that stage. Any question from anyone?
While creating it, must we set our debit card while creating this account, sir?
Yes, it will ask for your debit card for verification, and it's very, very important you include that.
All right, thank you.
Yes, so I just want to say something. Thank you very much for the session. But it's as if you are doing magic for now. But I'm sure by the time you take us through the step by step, we will understand all this configuration and installation on Sparks. Thank you.
You're welcome. So, the installation part, I know it looks a bit like magical, but don't bother yourself. Just go to that, like follow the video. I will send the recorded section to you. Then I will send a PDF document showing the configuration. I have it here. I have the PDF document here. I will forward it to you. Just follow the steps that we have here. Then I think you actually be fine. So that's not actually the major issue. So yeah, so that's it for that. For the AWS environment, follow the link, register your account there, sign in. You will see sign in. Can you see create an AWS account? Go here. Then it will ask you to provide your email address. Put your email address here. or if you have an existing account, that means you know how to use AWS already. So that's okay. But if you have not used this AWS environment at all before, then use your email address and verify your email. So it's actually very, very, very straightforward. It won't be so difficult to deal with. And in case if you have any question related to this, please just send the message via WhatsApp, and I will be able to respond as fast as possible. Yes. So any question for now?
Thank you for bringing this to our attention.
Oh, thank you for pointing this out. I'm
If
so
you
sorry.
can, what you can do is just go back a little bit and
Yes.
cover that. Okay.
Okay, I'll go back a little bit now. Apologies for that. Yeah. Okay. So, like I said the other time, I'll go back to the material I shared. Yeah, about Python. We talk about Python. Why do we use Python? We can use Python for script data from websites, and I showed you an example using SLM file. I showed you JSON data. So Python can be used to work on unstructured data, semi-structured data, and also structured data. It doesn't matter the type of data you're dealing with. So you can use it to do transformation of those data and get them well structured. And also, I talked about Apache Spark. Okay, before we go to Apache Spark, so I was talking about this particular file. So I'll go back to this file. So for example, you are a stakeholder and you're the developer or data engineer. And I have these requirements. An example of the requirements is what I'm showing on. Am I sharing my screen?
No, you're not.
No, we can't see you.
Can't see your screen at all.
No, sir.
Oh,
We can't see
dear.
your screen.
Okay, back again. Apologies for that. So, for example, have this particular requirement as a stakeholder, and I was like, okay, please, could you help me transform this particular data in such a way that I will be able to capture this particular time, 7 minutes, 53 seconds, in seconds. And I want to capture this one, 8 minutes, 2 seconds. I want to capture everything in seconds. In this case, as a data engineer, you have to think outside the box that how do I deal with this data? You need to write a Python script to start doing the transformation of this data to get the expected outputs or expected results that you will now present to the stakeholder. Okay, I've verified this and I've been able to come up with a solution. And this is how I was able to solve the problem. Are you satisfied with it? And that's it. That's how it works. So in this case of data, I would say it looks like a structured data, but I will assume that this is a semi-structured because this is not the expected format that we are interested in. We want this data to be in seconds. We want the transformation of this data. We want this data to be in seconds. So in this case, we expect the data to be we want to convert it to seconds, right? So we have to capture 7 multiplied by 60 seconds plus 53 seconds, right? If I'm correct. So, and you calculate that. And for you to do that, you can't do it manually. You have to do it by writing a Python script. Imagine you only work with Excel and the stakeholder is saying, okay, could you please transform this data for me? It might be difficult for you to use Excel to do this transformation. It might even take more time. Imagine you are doing this, you're doing this every day. You keep going here, then you start making some changes, then until you get your everything in seconds. That would take a lot of time and energy. And with Python, that will help you to solve the problem. So you just write a Python script. Whenever you are given a file, you just load it, run your script, then you'll be able to generate an output as seconds instead of 7 minutes, 53 seconds. So that's how Python works. It makes life more easier for you. It helps you to improve in terms of delivery, and also, you make your stakeholder happy at the same time. So let's go back to the big data engineering that I was trying to cover the other time. I showed you this material. I said, if you want to maybe get information, please go through this link, cloudera.com. This is a cloud environment similar to AWS, but that will help you to get exposed to cloud as a whole. Then we have aws.amazon.com. Here you'll be able to get information about working, doing a lot of things using AWS environments. Spark, let's go back to Spark now. Spark is an open source unified analytic engine for large-scale data processing. Spark provides an interface for programming cluster with implicit data parallelism and fault tolerance. Spark is majorly for, we use it a lot in data engineering, especially now we have organizations, data are getting more larger and larger in terms of size. We're not dealing with megabyte data anymore. Imagine you have an organization where they have megabyte of data and you are transforming it, let's say, for example, with Python, with pandas. And as data are getting more bigger and bigger, you need something very, very efficient to handle the data. Imagine in the next 15 years, you have massive amount of data in petabytes. You won't be able to process the data using like pandas only. So Spark provides a room for you to work on your data effectively. And that's what Spark does. And so it deals with large amounts of data. And what does it do behind the scene? Spark will look at your data. For example, let me just give a layman, one basic example. A basic example is we have one person. Let's say we have a farmland, and we want one person to clear everything, cultivate the land within 30 days. Then I will throw this question back to everyone. What if we want to cultivate that land within 1 day? How many people do we need? I will repeat myself again. We have a land, we want to cultivate the land. Let's say we want to plant something and it's going to take 30 days to finish the work, the task. But we are thinking of an efficient way to ensure that we deliver the same task 1 day. How many people do we need for that particular task?
We need 30, 15 or 30 people.
Thank you. We
need
need
30 people.
We need 30 people. And how would they do that within 1 day?
Every day, one person.
No, we only need 1 day. We want to do the work
1 day.
1 day.
Only 1 day. Right?
One day.
There's going to be
They'll
labor
divide it
division.
into
Division of labor.
Yes,
They will divide the job
of
into 30
labor.
portions.
Thank
Allocation
you.
of the job.
Of the job.
They will
Thank you.
apportion the job.
Resource allocation.
Thank you so much.
Those
Resource
apportion
allocation.
it.
I love that word. Good. Division of labor. And that is what Spark is doing behind the scene. So it's trying to look at the tasks you are doing, checking how big the task is, and it's trying to divide the task to nodes. Okay, you this node, take your own. You this node, take your own. You this node, take your own. And when we get it done, let's collate it together and bring what? A result. That is what Spark is doing behind the scene. Spark is in memory. What it's saying is that it doesn't store data, it's just memory based. So that's, and it's fault tolerance.
What?
We don't understand, sir.
Sorry, I didn't get you.
We don't understand that last
in memory, right? Okay, let me explain the in-memory aspect of in-memory. It doesn't store. Okay, for example, when we want to save data, we save it on our computer, right?
Yes.
And when you save it on the computer, at a point when you keep saving data, what will happen to your memory?
It will tell you no more space.
It will
No
slow
more space.
down.
It
Yeah.
will slow. I love that word, slow down. That slow down. If you want to open your browser, it will take how many minutes to open?
Several minutes.
Maybe
Forever.
it will take forever. Thank you so much. That is the word. So, and in the case of Spark, let's say for example, when you are running Spark, it doesn't consume any part of memory at all. It doesn't store. Okay, we have RAM and ROM, right?
Yes.
Random access memory.
Memory.
And we have read-only memory.
Yeah.
So you have RAM. You have, for example, if you want to speed up your computer, what do?
You increase the
You increase the RAM now.
Thank you so much. Of the computer, the memory, so that
Yes.
it can be faster. So in this case of Spark, it's memory based, but what is happening behind the scene is that it doesn't store information in that memory. It will just process it like it captures the data, then it transforms it. If you discover, Uncle Ika would have covered this also to you. Maybe Uncle Ika, you'll be hearing temporary view in data. It's not being stored. It's just a view. So now that is what Spark is doing. So Spark is just trying to say, okay, this thing I will process it, but I'm not storing it. I'm not keeping that information. But I'm going to process it. I will keep it within my memory, transform it, and get it sorted. And that is what Spark is doing. Now, let's go to the Spark aspect. Like I mentioned the other time, I said in Spark, you have Python. I will be covering the Python part of Spark. So Python with Spark API. We have R. For those with R experience, you could, leverage the experience in R. You combine with Spark. 1 second.
Are we doing R?
Sorry. Please, do you mind if I just continue them later? If you have any question, then I will call you to, to answer. Yeah. So now we have we have the Scala, we have Java, we have Python, we have RStudio. For the Scala, if you have experience in Scala, you can combine with Spark, we have Java also. We have, so, but in our own case, what we'll be covering is the Python with Spark. And in Spark, we have a library called Spark Sql. We have Spark Streaming, Spark MLIB, that's machine learning, and we have Spark Graph S. So for the Spark Sql, if you remember when I was trying to do the configuration here, the configuration I showed you from PySpark.sql import what? Spark section. If you remember, I covered that. And then if we go back to the material here, you see the Spark SQL. So we are trying to access this Spark SQL library to do our transformation. We have Spark Streaming. Spark Streaming is more for streaming of data, real-time data coming every minute. For example, you could be dealing with data like maybe sport data or weather data, or it could be like, for example, if let's say, automated vehicle, they will be using this Spark streaming to capture data to make decision. Yes, so Spark machine library, a machine learning library. This is for majorly for machine learning engineer or data scientist. So you'll be using this a lot if you are dealing with Spark. And don't forget, I said it's for large amount of data. So the engine is what? Spark, and the management is on what? Hadoop. So we have the storage. I won't explain much about this. So I mentioned something the other time. I said, I talked about task, dividing the task, dividing our task in Spark. That, we have something happening behind the scene, task is being divided. So this is the process, but I don't want to complicate things for you. Please, let's just stick to what I've already explained for now. So you'll be building on it after. Do we have any questions so far?
Yeah, my question is, I was just wondering the difference between Spark and Panda, because as I said before, I've only just used Panda, and I was wondering if it can be combined.
Oh, thank you so much. I love that question. We'll be covering Pandas and we'll be covering Spark. So Panda is a library, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So you use it with Python and you use majorly for data transformation, for data engineering. So the difference between Panda and Spark is that Panda can handle not that large amount of data. Remember, I mentioned that I was talking about
Megabytes.
megabytes. I was talking about, then later I moved to gigabytes. Imagine you're talking about petabytes, you have terabytes, you have some other, zettabyte and the rest. Spark will be able to undo those data. But for pandas cannot undo that. So it depends on the organization you're working. Most of the time in organization, when they are dealing with very small amount of data set, let's say, for example, you want to give a report. Let's say you have your stakeholder telling you to keep transforming this data every day. This is a very small amount of data, right? So you can easily use pandas to do transformation, pandas library to do transformation of that data. But imagine you have this data in terabytes.
Right.
Yeah, and they are all repeated, like, you've got like 1 billion rows here. You are not expected to be using pandas in that case because the size is going to be very big. In that case, you go for what? Spark. And if you are dealing with very large amount of data sets and you want to do predictive analysis, you use what? Spark machine learning library.
Right. Okay. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. Because I know I was trying to work with the data and I was struggling. So I could, integrate both.
Yes, yes. And in some organizations, like if they see that in the future, they might be dealing with very large amount of data sets, what they do is that they quickly implement and work with Spark from the beginning for the transformation of the data, because they don't want to spend more money, to start building another application. So they try to forecast and they switch to Spark immediately. But yes, so that's how
But
it works.
overall, it improves performance. Thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yes. Any question for now?
Yes, I have. It's not a question. It's more of a suggestion.
Okay.
As much as we're trying to, some of us are audiovisual learners, really. I would appreciate it more when you are teaching and you bring in some live examples, real life examples. It makes learning easier for some of us, particularly me. I'm able to relate it to real world. For example, you mentioned electric vehicles now. I wasn't getting you before, but when you mentioned electric vehicles, I was able to relate it. So having those kind of examples with these terms will go a long way.
Okay. I will make sure I capture that in any subsequent section.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Do you have any question from anyone again?
Yes, I have one question. Do we need to understand more on it? Because I saw when you mentioned, I could remember you said how to give this, for example, now how to sort this out on a Excel sheet. So you have to identify the columns and rows, the names that would represent what we are to solve. But do we need to, what my question now is that, do we need to know basic things on Excel to work on Spark and the rest of them that we'll be addressing for us? Do we need to have knowledge on Excel? Because some
Yes.
people may not have that basic understanding. Like me, I know little about Excel, but I'm just asking generally, like, do we need to have basic knowledge on Excel?
Okay. Yeah, thank you for asking that question.
Okay.
Like I said in the beginning, I actually said if you know how to open Excel, right? You know
Yeah.
how to import data, you know rows, columns, you can
Yes.
copy, and those are the things that you actually need when it comes to Excel. But if you understand also, that's not the only thing. If you understand Excel very well, you might be able to see how, for example, let's say we have this and you have this. Let's say, for example, wherever we have here, we want the result to sit here. Let's say the result is there. And as a data engineer, you are given data here and you need to map the results to the other sheets. You understand? You need to understand those basic aspects of Excel. Maybe, for example, let's say we are doing 2 plus 2, let's say 2 and 2 here. Let's say this is
Yes.
2 and 2. Let's say the result is being displayed here. Let's say it's 4.
For
You
okay.
understand? You
Yes,
should be
sir.
able to know that, okay, if this 2 plus 2 is here, how are we getting this 4? How is it being mapped to that? Because that will help you as a data engineer to do some reverse engineering. And the reason why I said is that I have been involved in a project where the stakeholder just gave us Excel file like this. They gave us Excel file like this. And what we needed to do was to start understanding the code and interpret all the Excel code in Python. Does that make sense? And we have
Yes,
to
sir.
interpret some of them also in SQL. So I think I will advise you that you should have maybe basic knowledge of Python. You understand? Just work on it and see what you could maybe get out from there. But in terms of the data engineering aspects, I think if you understand basic Python, you should, basic Excel,
Yes, sir.
you should
Okay.
be fine and you can develop on that particular skill.
Okay, sir.
Any question again?
Yes, sir. I just want to confirm something, sir. When you talked about Google Colab, I understand that it runs on the cloud, kind of. You don't need to save information. It doesn't really need your system memory to run that much. But this Spark with Python with Spark, does it do the same way? Because I understand that when you load, if you have to load Anaconda and all that to get to Python and all that it takes a lot of space on your system.
In
Is it
this
the
case,
same thing?
you're not doing running Anaconda. Just use the Google Colab direct. Everything is there.
Okay, no, I mean with this Spark. You said Spark, Python with Spark. Meaning you need to load Spark and then get Python there, right?
This is what you should need. Just run this. Don't bother about, you don't need to start saying you want to install Python or whatever. No, just follow this step. And you see, if I showed you something the other time, I told you, I said Python. Can you see Python is there? And the Spark library, they work hand in hand. So you don't need to bother. Everything is installed. You don't need to start installing Python.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll be sending you the PDF. Just follow it, and I
All
think
right.
you'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other question from anyone?
Do you have any finished work, like how will I say it? Because I'm just reasoning how my question is coming from how I look at the cryptocurrency, the database, as in the front finishing work they have done and how they manage this. So is there anything relating to that? Like what you are teaching, what we are going to learn, is there an example of a finished work on all this cryptocurrency or all this forest trading stuff like that? Is this similar? Is this example you can pick from there to show us how such work is done? Some of those
Now I think if you see this class, this is an introductory class.
Okay.
I must not make things complex for everyone.
Okay, sir.
And this involves everybody to participate. So I must not just pick one person and start focusing on cryptocurrency. People needs to understand the basic, how to deal with what is Python. If you don't understand what Python is, you won't even be able to handle maybe dealing with cryptocurrency. If you understand that part of Python, then you understand how to start using what's it called? Working with transforming data either from using data that is related to cryptocurrency or maybe data being streamed. So that one is very, very important. But we're just covering the basic aspect of Python in this case. So that's what we're doing. Any
Hello,
question again?
hello, sir.
Yeah.
I have a question. I just realized that my current laptop might not be suitable, but I'm trying to get another one. And I saw one that has 16 gigabyte RAM, 512 gigabyte SSD, Windows. It's HP ProBook. It's a business laptop. Do you think that would be suitable?
Yeah, that would be suitable, but if you can get a 16 gig RAM rather than 8.
Okay.
And the reason for the 16 gig RAM is because when you install SQL Server on that machine, SQL Server requires 8 gig of RAM to operate. So when you have 8 gig, SQL Server is just going to consume all the RAM as at that time when SQL Server is running.
Okay.
And will be running slow because apparently you won't be able to do any other thing on that laptop that time until you close down your SQL Server.
Okay. Brilliant. Thank you, sir.
Okay. All right.
Goodbye.
And sorry again, for this class, please let us bear in mind that there are quite a number of different level of understanding or knowledge about data engineering, data analytics here. And our objective here is to start from the bare basic to get everybody on board, and then we can begin to run. We cannot run when we cannot even crawl yet. So please let us just bear that in mind. Okay? Thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, sir. So, like I introduced to you Spark. I mentioned a few things about Python. So I'll be sharing my screen just for a start today, maybe a few minutes. Then next week we're going to continue from there. 1 second. I'll be sharing my screen again. Now, we'll be covering the first part of this class. We'll be covering data structure. We're going to be covering conditional statements. Some other things. So, but we're going to start with data structure. So, in data structure, we have something called lists. I won't spend much time. I will try as much as possible to, explain this better within this short period, this time that we have. So lists. Can you see the list? And the sign for list is what? A square bracket. Can you see? Open and close square bracket. That is the list. So whenever you see this sign, is a list in Python. And in a list, we can have elements in a list. Elements. For example, now let's see the number of people we have here. We have 44 people. let's say we want to try and capture the names that we have here. We say 44 elements in SOM 19 data class. So in this case, let's say I can list, or if I could maybe list all the names here, we have them listed here. So we have them as elements in the list. So for example, this is an empty list. If I want to create elements, I just gave I explained a basic way now. So if I want to create elements, for example, we have Ngozi Adamu, Ngozi Adamu, Adamu. So these are elements in the list. Let's say John. Let's say Jide. Let's say we have Daniel. All these are elements in a list. So let's say these are mentees, right? So we have mentee underscore list. Let's say mentee and mentor underscore list. You can use any name, a variable name for your list. So please don't get confused. This is just any name, a variable name just to capture wherever you have in that list. So I can do SOM underscore 19 list. In this case, I can run this. This is a list. So in this list, I will explain something here. In Python, when you are counting, there's something called index. Index. So in index, you start from 0 instead of 1. For example, now, the first element in this list is what? Ngozi. The second one is Adamu. The third one is John. And the fourth one is Jide. And the other one, this one is Daniel. But if I want to capture the elements individually, I have to like find the index for that particular element. In this case of Ngozi, the index is, like I said, it starts from 0 for Python. The first index, we call it Python, is 0. The second index is 1. The third index is what? 2. The fourth index is 3. Then the fifth index is what? 4. Let's say, for example, we want to capture this now. Print SOM underscore 19 underscore list, capture index 0. Let's capture this index. Like I said, index 0, let's run it. What do we see there? We have what?
Okay.
Ngozi, because anytime you see an element, index 0 stands for the first element, index 1 stands for the second, index 2 stands for what? The third, index 3 stands for the fourth, then and index 4 for fifth. Can you see? If I want to capture the last one here, I can use let me
5.
see. Is it 5? Who
Yeah.
said 5?
5. 4.
4. Because this is 0, 1, 2, 3,
Yeah,
4.
4.
Does that mean? Now,
Yeah.
I like that. Can you see it's Daniel? And
Yeah.
at the same time, so this will bring us to what we call positive index and negative index. Positive index. So in our own case, we're using what? Positive index. Positive index. Because in some situations, you need to use a positive index. Why? In some situations, you might need to use a negative index. And I will explain a few other as we go on. So for example, we have positive index. We're using 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. But do you know that if we want to capture this in negative index, we could also negative index. So for the negative end, let me just use hash here so that the code will not fail. Oh, okay. Anyway, let me do, okay, brilliant. So let's say we want to capture this print here. We want to capture this using negative index. think I'm getting one feedback from somewhere. Okay. Now, we want to capture this using negative index. So for negative index, I've explained positive index, which is, like I said, is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, like that, like that. So for negative index, you count from negative, for negative index, you count from, so -1 as 4. For negative index, this index 4 is same as -1, -1, -1. So for example, we capture this one in positive under positive index, we use 4. If we want to capture under negative index, we start from -1 from the back, -2, -3, -4, -5. Don't forget you start from the back. -1, -2, -3, -4. That is negative index. Now let's see if this is going to work. Let's put -1 here because we're capturing the last one. Can you see? So we're getting what? Daniel. For positive index, the index here is what? Index 4. For negative is what? Minus negative what? 1, if you are using negative index. And negative index is very, very important, especially when you are reading, when you want to capture the last part of data. When you want to capture the last part of data. And I will give you a typical example in a minute. For example, let's say we have let's say date, time, let's say date. Let me use date ls equals to, let's say we have 2034. 2034. Okay. Okay, let's say, okay, don't let me use date. Let me say file. File is 2034. And I have this file. I'll be doing something very funny here, but never mind. Let's say 2034. Let's run this. And let's see file underscore ls 0. Two, right? Let's put -1 here. Let's see what is going to happen. Can you see? Can you see? We want to capture the last number here. What did I do? I pass in -1, right? And I was able to capture that 0, 1, 2, 3. If I pass in 3 here, I will still get 4 in this situation. Can you see? So it helps you to maybe filter sometimes file paths and the rest. And it's very, very important in data engineering. Imagine you have, let's say, file list. Let's say we have files. Let's say we have, let's copy the file path here. From the config, let me do, oops. Okay, let's see what we have here. Config. Okay, so let's say we have file, this file path. This is the file path now. We want to capture this particular part of data. Let's say we want to capture this. Look at the structure. As a data engineer, you have to like think outside the box. How do I grab this data? So you need the list and you need some other things, methods to transform this data. Let's say we have file S, and I don't want to make this complicated, but let me just do something. File underscore ls. And we explain what I'm doing here, and I want to capture the last one, -1. And I can do print around it. print. I will explain. Please don't be scared. And if we do that, what can you see? Can you see we're able to capture what? The last one. The last one here. So what I did here was I tried to split this, turn it to list. So after turning it to list, this one will be separated, this one will be separated, this one will be separated, and now I'm able to pick that, and I will show you in a minute. So if I remove this now, if I run this, can you see a list? Is this similar to what we have here? So you create a list and you capture the last part of the what? The data. And what's the last part of the data? You use what? Negative index minus what? 1. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
Now you now understand why we need lists. So I'm trying to give you a typical example of what you will see where you are working, how to capture data, how to use lists. So I'll give you an example now. So this is an example of CSV file. So we want to read this data, so we can capture that and read the CSV file. Now let's go on.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought this is a file part. This is a part where the file is located. So I was feeling it will actually get the content of the file and not the part dividing. I don't know if you understand me.
Yeah, that's a good question. But in this case, we're not reading the file. We're just capturing the file part.
Okay, just the content.
Exactly. Like if I want to read this file now, I can read it using this file part.
Okay.
Exactly. So in this case, I could find a way to get all the files here, if they're in CSV, and automate everything and read everything one after the other using Python without manual way of just grabbing only one file. So that's what Python can do for you. It helps you to automate things. Yeah. So it makes life more easier. Any question from anyone? No question? Please, there's no foolish question. Just ask any question. I will be happy to answer you.
No,
Okay,
I was going to
sorry.
ask. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
Mine is obviously still silly, but it's just because I've not used split before. But I wondered why he had the beginning part of the content. It showed empty space.
Which one?
Where you listed the file path as a list. Where you showed the file path as a list.
Okay, yeah.
No, it's not there.
Very top.
The top, okay.
Oh,
yeah, right.
Where you split it and then you showed it as a list.
Oh, that
Yeah,
makes sense.
just remove that.
Yes.
Yeah, the first list. The first empty, what do you call it?
Yes, yes. You see, if you notice here,
Yeah.
because we have slash here and we are splitting by slash, so that this is empty already.
Oh, the beginning before the flash.
Exactly. If I remove this one, it won't show empty anymore. You see.
Okay.
Can you see it's gone?
Oh,
but because
perfect.
of the slash, yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, can I ask my own question now?
Oh yes, please.
Yeah. For a total novice, is there any terminology or the language of Python, like when you wrote print, to a layman, print is just print something, but in Python, print means to list. So is there terminologies we should know, or the language of Python that we should understand, for us to be able to comprehend what you're doing?
Okay, thank you so much. For example, using the word print is something generic to Python. Not even only Python, is generic to other programming languages like Java and the rest. So it's something that you have to do. And print is very, very important. There is no way you write code and you will not use print. And the reason is for you to understand what that code is doing. For example, you might write a very lovely code, but you would like to know, if you don't add print to it, you won't know what that part of code is doing. If you write a code and let's say you are now leaving that project, you've left the project, and someone now is trying to work on that particular code, by not adding print or adding some statements using print will make things more difficult for that person to fix issue with the code. Does that make sense? So that is the reason why we use
not
print.
really.
Okay.
Let me rephrase the question again. Are there basic things? I've tried to learn Python before by watching videos, and when I start and they don't make sense to me, I just go away. So is there things we should know? Like when you want to teach a child words, they have to start with alphabets.
Yes.
A for apple, B for, is there things you should know so that Python can be easily understood by a lay person? Or is it that it's not for everybody?
If you show interest in Python, you will know it. Like for example, print, like you said, when you press your printer, you print. This one is still doing the same thing, but in this is printing in a digital way. You're just you're seeing it on the screen. For example, if you want to print something, you want to print a picture. When you take your picture, what do? You press print, and it will come out. It will show a result, right? So in this case, in programming language, it's still doing the same thing. You're doing print to show a result.
I think what she's trying to say is
I think if you go to dormitory schools, you should be able to.
there are some languages that are peculiar to
Yeah.
Python. I think that's what she's trying to break down.
Yes,
These are the languages I need to know that are peculiar to Python. The terminologies for Python.
I will advise you just go on YouTube. You could maybe search some information.
No, you need to guide me to the one that you think will help me, because there are lots of information on YouTube, and if I watch one, from my experience, I try one, it doesn't make sense. I got another one, it doesn't make sense. But there should be one. I'm a teacher by training, so not every teacher can teach you. So sometimes people don't teach well. So I'm asking if you could provide where we could get some basic knowledge that can help us along as you're teaching.
I will try. I will try as much as possible. I will see if I could lay hands on some videos on YouTube.
Python for dummies.
Yeah, we've got Python for dummies. People, yes. So that should be able to help. But yes. But I will advise, even if you watch that Python for dummies, you still need to don't say that the code does not make sense. I think it requires commitment. Sometimes when, like me, when I started, some of them were not making sense to me also. I would have even given up. I wouldn't have, come to teach you today. But just as in, just try as much as possible to push yourself. If it doesn't make sense, go back to it. Just like a baby, you fall down, you wake up.
Yeah, but I want to know the aim of what I'm learning. Like if you're teaching me Python, what is the aim of Python? What is what am I going to achieve with it, so that I'll know the end result before I start? That will be the motivation. That you tell me print. What am I printing? How is it relevant in a workplace? Make it more practical, because some of us, we all come from different backgrounds, and this might be our last opportunity to get into a career we really love to do. So I'm just encouraging you to make it really practical. I'm not saying that you're not doing a good job, but because some people might just run away. People don't normally like Python anyway. So
can I come in there a little bit?
Yeah.
You see, the reason why we have these two classes, which is my side of the class, which is Sql, and his side of the class, which is Python and all the stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like he did mention, and I did also mention, is that the world of data, like they say now, data is the new gold. The world of data is actually fast growing, really fast growing. And yes, we are taking you, from my side, I'm taking you from the on-premises SQL Server end of things, because once you get an understanding of that, then going into Azure will be much more easier for you. Okay. Now, when you are going into Azure, you still have the normal SQL Server. Okay. But then this time around, it's not on-prem, it's in the cloud, it's on Azure platform. But then When there is another application which I may introduce you to just a little bit, but I may not be able to just go deep into that, and that is the data loading tool for on-prem. One of the data loading tools for on-prem, which is called SSIS, which stands for SQL Server Integration Service. Okay, that is used to load data from different sources into a database, right? But then when we now translate that SSIS into the cloud, can you mute yourself, please? When we now translate this, when we now translate this into the cloud, we have what is called the ADF, Azure Data Factory, which is just the same thing as SSIS, but we call it SSIS on steroid because why? It does a lot more than on-prem SSIS can do. But then when you now move from there, when you now begin to work on big data, large volume of data, and that is where another tool comes in, which is called Databricks. Okay, Databricks uses 3 or 4 different languages. It uses R, it can use R, it can use Scala, it can use Python, and then it can use, just those 3. And then you can use SQL as well, sorry. So you can use those 3. But the most efficient one of all this, and which is the one which is most used, is the Python side of it. But it's not called Python really. It is called SpicePack. And it uses Python language. So this is how relevant what he is teaching you will be. Because apparently, definitely, you are just starting from the on-prem. You are going to graduate into the cloud. And once you graduate into the cloud, you're using Databricks. You're going to use SpicePack, and SpicePack is Python language. Okay, it's just Pack with Python. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
All right. Yes, Daniel, you raised your hand.
Thank you very much. Sorry, I've been following since you started the Python, but I got a bit lost while we got. Sorry, I can't see the screen you were sharing just now.
He's not sharing the screen right now, I guess. The class is almost to an end today. We are past the time.
Okay. Thank
Yeah.
you. Now just please go let me use this highlights. You can just go over this part again.
Yeah, you see, what I will say to everybody here is this, and that's normal. I normally say to my students is, you see, for me, the way I learn is when I'm on the train, when I'm driving, if I have the car to myself, there's nobody, I play this video, even if I'm not watching them, not looking at what they are doing, but the audio that I'm listening to, right? I repeat it, and it's come with what the Bible says. It says faith comes by hearing and hearing by the word of God. You keep hearing it, you keep hearing it. It begins to make sense to you. It becomes a part of you. You begin to know where. So when you begin to now do your practice, you begin to understand. Okay, this after this is that, and that is the way to learn. You might in the initial state look, oh, this is just too complex. I can't understand. I can't get my head around it. It's just the same thing with me when I started, right? I always thought, no way. How can I memorize this? But sincerely, I don't memorize anything these days. Because why? I already worked with it over and over and over again. When I was doing my master's in data warehouse and data mining, I created a data warehouse, and I think I did it about over 100 times. And when my supervisor was asking me, I said, look, I know 101 way by which I cannot create a data warehouse. Because why? I was creating it and it was failing until I was able to get it right. And that's just the same thing. And up to today, I don't forget. And one of my strengths is data modeling. And it was just because of that, that reason. Okay. So please watch the video as many times as possible. Listen to the audio when you can't see, when you can't actually look at this at your screen, and you will get to understand. You will get to understand the language as well, and you will find out that when you begin to hear some keywords, you can go and research what that keywords mean. And let me tell you one other thing which is still going to come today is that you will still have to learn, whichever industry you find yourself, you still have to learn the business language there as well to understand how the business works. And me as a data engineer now I don't like balance sheet, but now I know a little bit about it because why? I have to prepare data for the balance sheet. I have to prepare data for budget and planning, right? Now I'm in insurance. Now I understand some terms in insurance as well, because even when you go for interview, they begin to talk to you. The questions they begin to ask you, they want you to come back to them in the language of the industry. Understand? So yes, data engineering is good and like any other profession, but you just have to be committed to it. Don't give up. Please don't give up. Like Jide said, if he had given up, he wouldn't have been where he is today. He was one of my students in the past, but he dug his feet in and he did it. And now, yes,